Many of the questions that we're running very close to the time at the end of the program, but many of the questions for you related to deportation. So one kind of summarizes that. So if you had a question about deportation, we're hoping that the Congressman will speak to the issue specifically. Reading the question, what hope can you give a person in deportation proceedings who will miss the opportunity to have status in this country before the bill is passed?
Excellent question, right? Because we already know, is it up? Good. We already know that it's $1,200 a day. It's a little over $400,000 a year. We know from the federal government that the majority of them are not people that you and I would define as criminals. They're here working unauthorized as workers in the United States. They're not gang members, drug dealers, bad people, right? Since we know that, right, you have to say to yourself, so the Senate bill has, as part of the Senate proposal, if I, Luis, I'm undocumented, I'll make it that simple for you. I'm undocumented. I go and petition for my legalization. In that petition, I will include my minor children who are not citizens. Okay? And I will include, I can include my spouse that has been deported. So when I make the petition, I petition for my children and for myself to get my documents, but I can also petition to reunify with my spouse, my husband or wife or minor children that have been deported so that they can come back. Because you cannot heal. You know what the #1 crime prosecuted by the federal government, the #1 crime? Ain't kidnapping. It's not murder. It's not drugs. It's not counterfeit. You know what the #1 crime? Illegal re-entry to the United States. Illegal re-entry to the United States. That's the #1 crime prosecuted. Well, what did you think was going to happen when you deport 1.6 million people? And 8 out of 10 of them have American citizen children. And hundreds of thousands of them have American citizen wives and husbands. They're going to recross that border to come back home. It's what any one of you would do here in this room. What any woman and any man would do here in this room. So we're going to have, as part of comprehensive immigration law, I'm going to work for the same kind of measure in the House version. We want to heal. This is part of the healing process, right? Can't have comprehensive immigration reform if we leave hundreds of thousands, because you know what's going to happen. We do the reform, they're still going to want to come back. Now they're going to come back to their wife that got papers, their kids that got papers, but they've been left out. That doesn't heal the family. So we need to figure out how we bring back the ones that are not criminals but have been deported.
Representative Gutierrez, our next question, comment and question is, I'm worried about the exploitation of guest workers. How will the bill safeguard their rights?
That's an excellent question. In other words, if we're going to invite people to come to this country, they're worried because we have a sad history. You know, we need people, we bring them, right? We brought the Asians, we brought the Chinese here, and when they finished the railroad, we said adios, right? And during World War II, what did we do? We brought a lot of braceros because our men were going off to war. So somebody had to pick. And what did they do after that? They said adios. And they treated them poorly and they treated them bad. No, we're going to have worker protections. They're going to be able to be protected. And sadly, it's something that a lot of people tell me the price. I want you to know that as a society, we're doing better with our workers. Because when you look statistically, here's what you find out. Fewer American workers are being hurt on the job. It's a decline, right? That's a good thing. That means the law is being enforced and fewer people, right? And fewer American workers are dying at work. Still 13 people leave every day to go to work and don't come back every day in America. But it's declining. Here's the sad part. While overall the numbers are great, in the Latino community, they're increasing. More Latinos are dying at work and more Latinos are getting hurt at work. And I think we all understand why. They have no protection. We're going to make sure that the ones that are here are protected and the ones that come. You want that worker to have the same, right? To be able to join a union, right? To have minimum wage standards, to have safety standards, and to be protected by OSHA standards. We're going to make sure that they have those protections in law when we bring people here to do the jobs that we need them to do.
This is a border question. Regarding the language in the bill, why does it specifically target the southern border
Great question.
versus addressing both borders? The same issues that the southern border has can be found in the northern border.
I'm going to answer that question this way. It's a bipartisan bill. People see immigration and the threats to our society through different prisms. They see it differently, right? Some people see it. The American public, right? The American public does not believe the border is secure. And they want it secure. And they want that border secure. Okay? So, we have to figure out a way to sit down in a bipartisan way to get a bill drafted. So everything that, look, I told you all the great things that happened, right? Remember on November 6th, what was the Republican Party mantra on November 6th before the votes came in? What did they say? Self-deportation is the way to eliminate 11 million people. They should just go, we're going to make their lives so miserable, they're going to pack their bags and they're going to leave. Right? No, that was it's in their platform that they adopted in Tampa. And they said, oh, and in order to get that to happen, you know that law they just struck down? Because they had already stricken down 2/3 of SB 1070 in Arizona. They said, we should take SB 1070, right, which legalizes racial profiling, because it's the only way the cops could possibly know. They said, we should take that and make that in 49 states. In other words, make all the police officers in every city and every town immigration agents. Okay? But that's going to do a lot to, make sure that the relationship between the police and the community, the first weapon that the police have is not their gun or their speedy car, it's people helping them find the criminals. That's the first weapon. They don't have that one, they're going to lose all the rest of the battles. But my point to you is, what else did they say? Romney said, if the DREAM Act reaches my desk as president, I would veto it. I just want you to think a moment. That was them there, and today they are sitting down at a table talking about comprehensive immigration reform. But we still have to negotiate. They didn't say, oh, Luis, here's this paper and here's this pencil. Since you guys won, why don't you just write the bill? We'll all vote for it. That's not quite the way it works. We're going to have to negotiate with them to get to 218 votes. So there are going to be things that you're going to cheer about, and there are going to be things that you say, why'd they put them in there? The fact is, the political reality is going to require us to compromise. But remember, 1,200 people get deported every day. I want to stop that deportation. I want to start healing the families, and there are going to be compromises that we're going to have to make to get that done. Last question. I'm sorry?
You have a flight at 7 o'clock?
Yes. I've got a flight, but I just want to say thank you again to Congressman Cleveland for inviting me. And all of you, it's your Saturday and it's 6 o'clock and you're here. What a commitment. Thank you so much. You have really blessed the economy.